Hello, everyone. So tonight I'm very lucky to have the company of Zachary Wilder. He just published a new pattern in the newest issue of Pom Pom 35. So we'll talk a little bit about that and a little bit about his knitting life in general. Hey, Zachary.
Hello.
Hello. How are
Hello, Eileen.
you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. So I'm very, very glad right now and a little bit emotional because you are our first transatlantic interview. So,
Amazing. I'm honored.
so it's a first for us, so for you it's the evening around
Mhm.
7:30, and for us it's the beginning of the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. So you are in Paris, so we can say
Mhm.
to the people who are listening tonight.
Mhm.
And you have just we can dive right in the subject. You
Sure.
just published a new pattern. I think you have it around your neck.
I do. I do. This is the Convoy Cowl that's in the newest edition of Pom Pom that I designed along with my mother, Susan Wilder.
I
So
just realized that it's not only two colors or three colors.
it's two colors, but
Ah,
I used a variegated yarn
okay.
for one of the colors, which is really, it can do some interesting effects with lots of possibilities.
Yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
so, how did the collaboration worked with maybe either the Pom Pom magazine? Did they
Mm,
have like specific view of the patterns they wanted, or it was just like an open call and you can make whatever you
right.
want?
Well, they were they did make a call for people to submit patterns, and the call was for colorful collaborations. And I had created this pattern with my mother a few months before. I'd been working on it. I'd done it in a few different versions, and I'd finally settled on this one as the right way to go. And I saw the call, and normally I wouldn't have, dared, but I saw that it fit perfectly into the theme, and so I sent the pattern into the call, and it was accepted, which was completely blew my mind.
Yeah, but
Um,
sometimes you have to just put it out in the universe and just wish for the best. And if you have it, you have it, and it's super. And if you don't, you don't. And
Exactly. If you
keep
don't put
on
it out
living.
there, then nobody's going to see it. So it was a really nice surprise, and I'm very used to putting myself out there for lots of things. So as a singer, which is my day job.
Yeah, because if we want to tell to the people watching, you are opera singer.
Yes, when I'm in normal times, non-pandemic times, I'm my normal full-time job is as an opera singer, and I specialize in 17th and 18th century Baroque music. But I've been knitting for a long time because knitting is an activity that goes along really well with opera rehearsals, where you're waiting around oftentimes a long time in order to go on stage. So.
Yeah,
Mhm.
between the scenes or during rehearsals or even in the
Mhm.
plane or
Oh yeah. Oh,
yeah.
definitely. A lot of travel. So it was something I discovered discovered. I mean, I knew about knitting for a long time, but I was in a production in Portland, Oregon, and there was a Canadian mezzo-soprano named Laura Pudwell who was knitting next to me. And my family, I come from a family, my mother's a painter, and also I've got lots of woodworkers, and I was looking for something to make with my hands, and I saw her knitting, and I was like, oh, that's it.
That's it.
So I asked her if she would teach me, and she was very polite and
Yeah, and it's
did
the
so.
nice thing that you can really, since you travel a lot, you can really bring it with you. It's not like a wood thing that turns and with machinery and everything.
Yeah, I mean, with all the traveling that I was doing, sometimes literally around the world, where I would end up from the States and to Japan and back to Europe, and it's something that I needed to be able to take with me, and especially with a lot of these kits that we now have with the
Yeah.
needles that come off, and
Did you ever had your needles confiscated at the airport?
I almost did once. I have a terrible trick where I actually take the needles off and I put them with my pens and pencils.
Ah, but that's good.
Yeah, that's the way to go. And so then I just take that and put that, and I just leave it with the stoppers on the
Yeah,
wire.
that's a good idea.
Yeah,
So far, the only trick I've found is like a fake crying or yeah.
Oh yeah, that I haven't tried that yet. I've had to put my stuff under the plane in Hungary. But it's funny because in America and in Canada and in England, they allow you to take the needles on the plane, but in France they don't. And I remember I was at the airport once, and I said, "Oh, can I take these on the plane?" And she says, "No, you could kill somebody with that." And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
right.
And then I said, "But in America they allow you to take them on the plane. That's why I'm asking." And she says, "I do not believe you." And I was like, well, Google it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Like the knitter, super inoffensive.
I know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill somebody with this needle. But
I
whatever.
mean, yeah, we understand where it comes from, but And so you mentioned earlier that your mom is a painter, so she's the one who designed the pattern.
Yeah, she painted a painting, and she asked if I could convert it into a scarf, and I looked at it and kind of went, "Ooh, sure, let's try. Let's figure something out in the spirit of why not." And I took it, and it was a lot of the lines are too long in certain sections, like here, in order to do Fair Isle. And so I went looking for solutions, and I stumbled on double knitting, which is a very common technique, but I didn't know about it. I still discover stuff all the time. But I was like, oh, that's perfect, because it's actually you knit both sides at the same time, and you essentially knit the floats on the other side. So when you have white on this side, when you turn it over, it's actually
like
black on
one
the
side
other.
is the negative of the other.
Exactly, and it's like knitting one by one ribbing. When you're doing it, you just have to pull the yarn to both sides while you're doing it. But the technique itself,
two strands. You carry the two strands of yarn at the same time.
Yeah, you carry them to both sides in order so that they don't tangle. And so you'll knit on one side, then you'll pull both strings to the other side, and then purl with the colors, and then you just switch colors whenever you need to switch. And it's actually pretty easy once you get the hang of it, which was also very surprising, because it would seem like it would be very complex.
Yes, and I'm discovering this right now. I never knew this existed.
Yeah, it was a discovery for me. But that's what's great about knitting too, is that there's just so much out there that you can never, like opera, which has 400 years of history.
Yeah.
Knitting has so much history and so many different techniques that you can.
So I'm just thinking out loud. You could design like a totally reversible sweater, for example.
I know that there are some on Ravelry, and or some people have actually even converted certain sweaters that didn't really work very well in Fair Isle, like patterns that didn't really work very well if you convert it to double knitting, but you end up with something that's quite substantial after you're done with it. So
yeah, because you have like twice the weight of the yarn, and yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm just thinking of the possibilities.
Oh yeah,
it's very nice. Yeah. I'm glad.
I mean, it really if you don't have changes often enough, then the fabric can end up separating a bit. So the best patterns are ones that are very changey, like this.
Yeah. So this one is perfect then to learn the technique.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's just so much changing going on all the time. But yeah, so that was really fun to put together, and my mother's thrilled.
I'm sure. Did you knit her one?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
She has the prototype,
Okay.
which I originally knit flat, but it's actually easier to knit double knitting in the round because you're not switching sides, because then you have to knit in the
Ah,
negative on the other side. And
yeah, you have to stay more alert and
yeah, exactly. I mean, I did knit the first one flat, and it just had to like think really hard about it. But this way is much easier when
the
it's just
joys
in the
of
round.
prototyping.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the best way is when you try stuff out and
Mm,
just
yeah.
swatch and see what happens.
So this makes me even more want to knit your call. And also there's, I think, all the patterns in this issue of the Pom Pom magazine. I'm sure everybody watching has seen the pictures because it's so nice and so colorful. They were right with the colorful
Yeah, yeah.
collaborations. Yeah.
Hmm,
We
hmm.
also have Les Garçons, our very own garçon
Their
from
sweater
Quebec.
is
Their
amazing.
sweater is very, very, very nice with
Yeah,
like a big flower and
yeah, yeah.
it's
It makes me
knit.
actually want to knit in Tarsha.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
really want to knit it too. Yeah, and also this amazing Jacquard floral
Oh
Jacquard.
yeah, I was the test knitter for that, and I actually have it right here. I
I
just
just
finished it on Monday.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I love it, and the patterns by my friend Hiroko Payne, and she did an amazing job, and it's so warm, and she uses a marling technique in order to get the fades. So she used two different fades at the same time to get this kind of
Two
effect.
different fades, so four different colors in the yolk.
Yeah. Well, there's many different colors actually. So, but yeah, there's a fade that's in the grays. So you'll go from darker to lighter, and then also in the color background, you go from like white all the way to green through like a rust color. In this one, there's actually this one's not available yet, but I
This
know
one is
that
a kit.
La Bien-Aimée is selling kits. They just, I think they maybe almost sold out of
Mhm.
the first round, but they're doing updates every month. And they're going to be adding, this one will be out early next year. But yeah, so I guess that brings us to our next subject. I'm actually now actually working at La Bien-Aimée.
Yeah, you're lucky. I'm I think everybody knows the famous yellow wall of
Yeah, exactly. That's
Latinity.
actually where we eat.
Oh, it's your lunch, your staff room.
Exactly, our staff room. And we take a lot of our photos there because it's
Yeah.
just so iconic. And but I love it because I get to talk with all sorts of people all over the world who they write in asking for advice about colors and about what yarn to use with what. And it's such a big community. And I just love talking to all these people all over the world. So it's really, really cool.
And people like I could call you and say, "Hey, Zachary, please help me with my color choices or the right or how does it work?"
We have an email address actually called Color Advice. And so people write in either to Color Advice or sometimes to sales where they say, oh, well, I'm doing this, but I was thinking about doing this color. And we work with the yarn all day and with color all day. So, for us to just pull the yarn and kind of look at it is really easy. So we're always really happy when people write in and we can, that's the funnest part is actually helping people choose colors.
I'm sure. And of course, you have in the shop, you have all of the possibilities. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when you're at home, you're like, oh, would yellow be nice? But you don't have yellow under your eyes
Mm-hmm.
to compare
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
are in the shop, so you have all the colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we take photos sometimes when people ask for them to see what the combinations would look like together. But and oftentimes they just will even ask for suggestions or if something is a good idea. And sometimes the answer is no. Like we're looking at it in front of us and we say,
I'm not sure.
yeah. So like, for example, for this pattern, I had a couple people write in and where they were saying, oh, I was thinking about this color and this color, and you really need like a lot of contrast. And so I suggested actually taking a photo of your yarn that you're thinking of and putting it into black and white so you can see if there's enough difference in the saturation between the 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good trick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes even if it's like green and red, two opposites, but they're too
Mhm.
close in
Yeah, it can create kind of a they would be in a
mixture.
fight. You want to like a background and a foreground.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Oh, that's very nice. Maybe sometime I will write to you and say,
Please, please, we
what
love it.
should I
We
do?
love it.
Well, Zachary, thank you very much to accept the interview tonight. It was a pleasure to finally meet you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I really encourage everybody to go check out the pictures of the newest issue of the Pom Pom, and not only check out the pictures, but of course buy the magazine and subscribe and try out all the beautiful patterns.
Knit
They're
it
all super
all, do
nice.
everything.
Yeah, do everything and write to Zachary.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, and have a nice night. And
Thank you. You too.
thank you, everyone. Bye
Good
bye.
night.